Of the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Boy, they're cheering for me.
I'm Jim Ross, and along with Michael P.S. Hayes, we'll describe the action. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a phenomenal hour. Headlined by the UWF Heavyweight Championship encounter, Terry Bam Bam Gordy defending against Steve Dr. Death Williams.
Well, I'll tell you what, as the film showed it 2 weeks ago, my brother wasn't beat. He's never been beat. He's gone through everybody. He is the champ, and that was quite apparent with Chris Adams coming onto the scene and relinquishing the world title that he had. All these world champions are realizing where the big belt is, the Universal title, and today on the UWF we're going to see it.
Well, I agree with that. We also saw the Tag Team Championship matchup, a few moments of that, the Fantastics winning that decision last week, and once again, Buddy Roberts blatant tight pulling to secure the television
He's the number one contender now. He'll screen all competition.
And we'll have the top 10 in this hour, the new top 10, and we'll also see a special feature involving Bill Apter, senior editor of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and Cowboy Bill Watts.
It's going
to be a great hour, ladies and gentlemen, and right now, let's go to the ring and our first matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match in the ring at this time, 240 pounds, from Havana, Cuba, Gustavo Mendoza.
He always has that cigar in his mouth. I wonder if that cuts down on his wind.
I wonder if Fidel watches his man there on satellite down in Cuba. Our program airs in Puerto Rico. Very pleasant hello to you folks. Gentleman, Chris Adams making his way to the ring. You can see a phenomenal crowd here at Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas during the Arkansas State Fair. Chris Adams making his second appearance here on the Universal Wrestling Federation, and Savannah Jack made quite an impression on Chris Adams last week, as Akbar thinks
and entering the ring
that Chris Adams' super kick is inferior to Savannah Jack's.
Gentleman, Chris Adams. One fall with a 10-minute time limit.
You know, Chris Adams coming to the UWF just kind of reminds you of the USFL players migrating back to the NFL. They want to be where the money is at. They want to be where the big-time things are going on. And him, you know, the world title that he did hold, his version, whatever, he was never beat for it. He had to relinquish it because he had failed to make a date, so he was never beat. Now he wants my brother's title. He can forget it.
Well, he is a tremendous athlete. I think you'll agree with that.
And hey, I will agree with that, and I know from experience that guy does have a super kick.
Just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a special feature from WrestleFest 86 and the Tulsa State Fair. We'll also have our new computerized UWF Top 10.
And we know who will be at the #1 rankings. We know who's the champ, and that's what Adams, he really doesn't care. He will go tooth and nail with you. If you want to fight, he'll fight.
You can bet he'll start working his way right up those top 10 rankings. He is definitely one of the supreme professional wrestlers in this sport.
Well, the adversity he'd come over the first of the year, the breakup with him and Gino Hernandez, unfortunately, God bless his soul. Now he's gone. Also the eye injury that he had. He's fought adversity, then to win a title, then have to be stripped of it because he couldn't make a date. And now he realizes the UWF is the place to be, and he's got to climb the ladder again. I give the guy credit for that, but I also give him the same advice I give everybody else. When you're climbing that mountain to walk down Bad Street, you ain't gonna make it to the last house on the right.
Of course, that remains to be seen. They'll settle that in the ring, just like things in the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Well, Dr. Death is going to find that out.
He certainly is. He certainly is. I will agree with you on that point.
Well, it's about time. I won you Announcer of the Year. You think you'd agree with me every time. Good. Gustavo Mendoza opening up on him. Good double chop. Taking advantage of him being in the ropes. Didn't break. And he's hit him with a couple. Whoa, went for a clothesline. Ducked it. Boom, there it is. That's it. Good night. Super kick and super win.
Chris Adams with a very impressive victory here on the Universal Wrestling Federation, and we'll be back with more UWF action after this timeout. Federation, in this segment, we're going to show you a couple of features. One, the new UWF Top 10, the computerized Top 10, as we gaze over this great crowd here at Barton Coliseum. But before we show you the Top 10, we're going to also see a feature on WrestleFest 86 which was held just a few days ago during the Tulsa State Fair in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll have that in just a few moments. But before we go to that, Michael, right here in this very city, Little Rock, Arkansas, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, your meeting with David Lee Roth, the meeting of the rock and roll minds.
Well, you know, the Freebirds and David Lee Roth, known for Jack Brothers and Jack Daniels, a lot of it went down. But I'll tell you what I want to talk about and what I want to see is the end of Steve Dr. Death Williams. This should be his last chance. It was proven last time that you are not the man you think. You don't have 10 other guys helping you. You don't have a head coach or a wrestling coach, and you can't beat Bam Bam, boy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will be coming up in just a few moments. But right now, before we show you the top 10, let's take a look at the Tulsa State Fair and WrestleFest 86. This week's UWF computerized top 10 sees Hollywood John Tatum in number 10, Chavo Guerrero, Los Angeles, California, number 9, The Missing Link at number 8, Freebird Michael P.S. Hayes, number 7, Terry Taylor, the former television champion, number 6, The Giant One-Man Gang of Devastation Incorporated, number 5. Dr. Death Steve Williams moving up to number 4. Ted DiBiase, number 3. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the number 2 contender. And the number 1 contender to Terry Gordy's UWF Heavyweight Championship is Freebird Buddy Roberts, the new television champion. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a look at the UWF top 10. 1 and 2.
It looks so good, baby. It looks so good.
And the tight still bears in my mind, front of the mind awareness as far as that part is concerned, I'll tell you.
I would just say that your mind is bare, period.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more UWF action. The UWF Heavyweight Championship will be on the line when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas. Universal Wrestling Federation action. Jim Ross and Michael Hayes with you as Terry.
And there he is.
The Bam Bam Gordy.
The champ.
He will be defending the UWF Heavyweight Championship against the awesome challenge of Steve Dr. Death Williams. That rematch as a result of the decision rendered just a couple of weeks ago when neither man was pinned. The match was quickly signed. Bam Bam Terry Gordy and Steve Dr. Death Williams. The UWF Heavyweight Championship will be on the line in just a few moments.
You know, we definitely, Terry and Buddy and I all watched that film, and he's ready for that belly-to-back move.
The UWF Heavyweight title match. In the ring at this time, the current UWF Heavyweight Champion, weighing 296 pounds, from Bad Street, USA, Freebird Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
There he is, the epitome of professional wrestling, the champ, the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship.
And you hear the music in the background and the roar of approval of the fans here from the land of opportunity in the great state of Arkansas. Steve Dr. Death Williams will be making his way to the ring, and this match will be contested in one ring. 2 rings sitting side by side in preparation for the big 2-ring battle royal. And Dr. Death looks in magnificent condition as he's jogging his way to the ring.
He better be in magnificent condition. He usually is anyway, but it's going to take more than that. It's going to take a brain, and it's going to take deep digging
and in the
way
ring
down.
at this time, the challenger at 270 pounds, former 4-time All-American wrestler from the University of Oklahoma, Steve Dr. Death Williams. 1 fall, TV time remaining.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? What's Hacksaw Jim Duggan doing going down to the ring?
The president of the Double G Lumber Company making his way to the ring.
He ain't got no business there. Now look at me. See, I'm not getting in the way.
How do you know Michael, he
has no business being there.
He's got something to say, quite obviously. Let's listen.
Yeah, he talks like he's got marbles in his mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make one thing perfectly clear. No matter who wins this match, my good friend Steve Dr. Death Williams, or that scum of the earth, Terry Gordy, I just want to make it clear. The best man wins, but then Hacksaw Jim Duggan has got the next shot for the UWF title. Tough guy. The only thing he made clear is he's an idiot.
What do you mean by that? He signed a contract to wrestle the winner. Shook Dr. Death's hand. Little stomp there with a bammer.
Hey. See that? He's antagonizing him. Same thing happened last week. Victory and Tatum came out and threw off Gilbert Sting's concentration. Now, a championship match should not have that involved. Look, he's grabbing the referee. They better get him out of there. I see Ronnie West running down. He has no business. I'll tell you what. They don't get him out of there, I'll go down there and get him out.
What, Michael? Why don't you just call? Nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening. Look at him. He's not supposed to be at. I'll tell you what. All right, if Ronnie West doesn't get him out of the ring, I'm going down there and I'll take care of this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're getting Hacksaw Duggan out of the ring.
No, not quick enough for me. I'm going to get him.
Well, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a break now so we can bring you all of this match. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the championship battle. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Get the shit. What stinks? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe what has just transpired during the commercial break. It really broke loose. Bodies flying all over the ring during the commercial break. We did keep the cameras rolling. We taped what we have just seen. And now let's go show you what happened just a few moments ago. Quite obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Dr. Death Williams sustaining a very serious injury. I understand it's to his elbow. And his big opportunity here seemingly has been ruined at the hands of the Freebirds. General Akbar was at ringside, and I don't know if well, there's Dr. Death Steve Williams' music, so evidently he's not going to let this injury prevent him from going for the gold. And he's on his way to the ring. Steve Williams is taped up, but he is a stallion. He's played with pain before with the Oklahoma Sooners, and his arm has been heavily bandaged. The good doctor is coming back, and Terry Gordy is not wasting any time and taking over on Steve Dr. Death Williams in this battle for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. It has a one fall or television time limit. Terry Gordy now, obviously and very opportunistically, taking over on Steve Dr. Death Williams. You can see that Doc's arm has been heavily taped, and the big stallion from Norman, Oklahoma is fighting back on Terry Gordy. He knows what's on the line, but so does Gordy ever so well, and Gordy kicking that injured arm. Remember, it all started with Hacksaw Duggan very simply coming to the ring and making a statement that he had signed a contract to wrestle the winner. It really broke loose during the commercial break. You have seen what has happened to this point, and right now Dr. Death, and it apparently he has virtually no use whatsoever in his left hand, his left arm. His left elbow was really hammered. You saw what happened on the railing with Michael P.S. Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. That double team tactics, that's typical Freebird style. They've always got something in mind. They're very opportunistic. And Bam Bam, a version of the spinning leg lock, only this time very adeptly applied to the injured arm of Steve Dr. Death Williams. And except for the very brief offensive flurry by the good doctor a few moments ago, it has been all Terry Gordy. I noticed that referee Ron West is still at ringside. I think that's a great tribute to the officials of the UWF to have two officials on hand for this match. And Dr. Death using every part of his anatomy that he can, because he can't use his left arm. Dr. Death with those big hammers. Dr. Death with that tackle, but not as effective. He doesn't have the balance, but that one was effective. That one came from a long way down, the doctor reaching down. And the champion has got to be wondering, what does it take to stop this animal? Gordy now, the arm twist on Williams. You can see the pressure being applied to the injured elbow of Steve Williams by Terry Gordy. In this battle on the Universal Wrestling Federation for the heavyweight championship, it is one fall or television time remaining. Short arm scissors by Terry Gordy, and he has worked on no other part of the anatomy other than that injured arm. And look at him rake that knee right across the elbow in the tricep and bicep area of Steve Dr. Death Williams as Doc is holding on. The pain that he's got to be sustaining now has got to be excruciating. Most athletes, I would say the vast majority of athletes, would not even think of going back to the ring to compete here on national television for the most prestigious title in professional wrestling today, the UWF Heavyweight Championship. But Dr. Death Steve Williams is attempting to meet that challenge. You hear the crowd here at Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas. Go, Steve, go. But Dr. Death at this point is trying to hold on. Gordy, great camera shot there, burying the knee into the arm of Dr. Death, and this face tells the story. Gordy hammering away back on Dr. Death's arm, but look at Doc fighting. Look at Williams fight with everything he's got. And Gordy goes down with a bewildered look on his face. Williams goes for a high-risk maneuver, and Gordy moves out of the way. Not a sound tactical move for Dr. Death, and he re-injured his own arm right there, and Gordy right back on the attack. We're going to have to take a commercial timeout here in just a few moments, everyone. We're going to keep the cameras rolling, and we'll be right back with more UWF Heavyweight Championship action after this very brief timeout. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Federation, everyone. I'm Jim Ross, and this is the battle for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. If you've just joined us, Steve Dr. Death Williams sustained a severe elbow injury at the hands of Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Freebird Michael P.S. Hayes. During a commercial break just a few moments ago, deep fireman's carry takedown by Dr. Death Steve Williams, who has literally fought his heart out in this heavyweight championship encounter, and a double clothesline by Williams and Gordy. Remember, they took Williams back to the dressing room. They tried, I have been told, to talk him out of this match here on national television. He adamantly refused. He wanted to compete. He wanted to go for the gold, to be the next UWF heavyweight champion, and he's trying to do it with one arm as Bam Bam Gordy goes to the top rope, and Dr. Death with his right hand buried deep into the midsection, and Gordy is wobbly, and Dr. Death brings the champion off the top. Dr. Death with a modified flying body press. You can see he has use of only his right arm, and his head and every other part of his anatomy has been forced into action as a weapon. As Dr. Death Steve Williams is fighting back on the 296-pound heavyweight champion Terry Gordy, and Doc is digging down deep. Football tackle from number 76 of the Sooners, and Gordy was vertical. Williams he's trying to set him for the pile driver. He's only got one hand, but he got it. It may not have had the full impact. He only had the use of his right arm, but Steve Williams shows everyone he is a stallion. He's going for the goal. Look at him trying to pin the man. It's instinctive. It's like a pit bulldog. They're bred to fight, and Dr. Death Steve Williams is a thoroughbred. He is a winner. He is fighting back, and he is in the ring with one of the most awesome athletes in professional sports, Terry Gordy. What a clothesline! He nailed him. Can you imagine the pain shooting through the body of Steve Williams, that injured elbow, and he's covered with a 2 count, a near fall for the doctor. Where else but the Universal Wrestling Federation will you see this kind of action? You've got it right here. We certainly appreciate you being with us. And Gordy goes upside down in the corner. Williams with all the velocity that he could muster, and Gordy is in a precarious situation here. Williams clubbing away at the champion. This is one fall. It is television time remaining. And it is for the most prestigious single championship in professional sports, the UWF heavyweight title. Gordy has got to be wondering what's going on. Williams fighting him with one arm. Dr. Death pulling Terry Gordy out. There's Michael Hayes. Now what is... They're not going to interfere. He says he's never going to interfere, and there he is at ringside. He has no business being down there. I'm glad Ronnie West is there. Look at Hayes. Near fall in the ring. Michael Hayes in that second ring has no business being at ringside. Now look at him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Terry Gordy's putting something on his hand. Gordy's got something on his hand. Boom! Terry Gordy has just leveled Steve Williams, and I'll guarantee you had a foreign object in his hand. And there's a pinfall. That's disgraceful. Michael Hayes, that's a Freebird plot. He knew Gordy had that foreign object. He didn't come to the ring to interfere physically. That's typical Freebird, and Dr. Death is out cold. Dr. Death is out cold. Typical Freebird playing. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We've got standby matches. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Federation, everyone, from Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas. This place still abuzz over what we have just seen. Typical Freebird plan, no doubt about it. Michael Hayes knew exactly what he had to do when he came to the ring. Terry Gordy with the foreign object knocking out Steve Dr. Death Williams. It took quite some time to get the good doctor to his feet and to the dressing room. I'd like to welcome at this time Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, the Universal Wrestling Federation. Eddie, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jim. It's very proud honor to be here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to have Eddie here, ladies and gentlemen, to add his insight and expertise in tag team wrestling. You're going to see a great tag team matchup in just a few moments, but before we do, Cowboy Bill Watts has recently won a very, very prestigious award presented by Pro Wrestling Illustrated in just a few moments.
Big deal.
Well, it is a big deal.
Big deal.
No, it really is a big thing, and we're very proud of the president of the UWF. And now let's go to that feature with Cowboy Bill Watts and Bill Apter, senior editor of Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
I don't like those guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you see Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory along with the beautiful Missy Hyatt making their way to the ring. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that we have asked Eddie Gilbert to join us here, because they'll be in tag team action against Iceman King Parsons and the Missing Link here on the UWF. And I don't know of anyone that knows Jack Victory and Hollywood John Tatum any better than you and your partner, the man that they affectionately called, or maybe unaffectionately called, Crayola Face.
Yes, thank you very much, Jim Ross. You know, first of all, of course, I do know Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory better than anyone else, and that's the reason why Sting and I have nothing more to do with these guys. But I want everyone's attention to be on this pretty, beautiful young lady.
You know her better than anyone?
The most beautiful. Her? I know her better than anybody else knows her, Jim Ross.
Yes. John Tatum, huh?
Well,
all right,
comment.
Well, yeah, please.
No comment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tag team matchup.
Hollywood, California, Jack Victory. And his partner, weighing 240 pounds from Hollywood, California, Hollywood John Tatum.
I must say,
and in the ring with them,
Missy Hyatt.
Right here. Look at her.
How can you not look at
her? I bet she hates to take his robe off, too.
Are you going to be able to calm down now?
I don't know.
She's got...
Make sure they get good camera shots of Missy.
Yeah, they'll get cameras. They get a wide-angle lens on Missy, I guess, but be that as it may, Bang Your Head blares in the background.
There he comes.
And in a few moments, you're going to see one of the most unorthodox teams, I would say, in pro wrestling today. Dark Journey will bring to the ring the missing link, and Iceman King Parsons. It will be a tremendous tag team affair. You can bet on it, because Dark Journey and Missy are at ringside. That always adds a lot of excitement, because wherever they are, well, I don't think there's any building in the country where you put them both in, if it's a restaurant, a department store, or an arena, that they're not going to lock horns.
Yeah, but Missy always has her beat, Jim, because she's the most beautiful of the two. She can fight better than the two. She looks better than the two. She is just the greatest of the two.
Well, we brought you here for your opinion. You're certainly giving it to us. If they get after it tonight, Missy's not too... she doesn't have her fighting attire on.
She
and that
fighting anything, Jim, believe me.
Well,
and in the ring at this time,
okay,
235 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri, Iceman King Parsons.
This is certainly going to be an experience, I'll assure you.
And his partner at 270 pounds from parts unknown, the missing link. In the ring with them, Miss Dark Journey. One fall with TV time remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first standby match. Beautiful Missy Hyatt.
There it is.
Awfully serious, and she should be serious with Dark Journey staring at her across the ring.
That's the reason why she's serious.
Well, it's going to be Hollywood John and the Iceman, cometh from St. Louis, Missouri.
You know, Jim, I also got to say that I know this kind of sounds a little bit crazy probably to you and the rest of these people, but I'm almost in the position here. I'm almost ready to cheer for the missing link and Iceman King Parsons, because, you know, Jack Victory and John Tatum, to me, caused Sting and I the return UWF title bout last week here on television against the Fantastics, because they psyched us out, and it was their fault we lost the match.
Excuses, maybe?
No.
Reasons?
No, it is the truth. Michael Hayes even sat here and said it, and he's a man of truth.
Oh, well,
he tells the
let's
truth
don't even
all the
get
time.
into that situation. Michael hasn't been here in the last several matches, and I haven't even thought about him.
Okay, I just want to tell you that. Look at it.
Michael's going to have his problems with Steve Williams once they review that tape.
Well, I do have to
agree
with you. I would have probably picked on somebody else other than Steve Williams in that case.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. As John Tatum backs Iceman King Parsons into the
look at that. It didn't hardly take any leverage at all, and Iceman put him down. Believe me, when it's all over, Missy will be coming back to the real man of the two. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
You think so, Eddie?
She'll be leaving John Tatum. You just ask any girl out there who the real man is, John Tatum or Eddie Gilbert, they'll tell you.
What about, I understand matches are being negotiated. Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory against your team.
That's right. Sting and I, Steiner and Sting, Steiner and myself. Any of the two, we want these two guys any place, any time. Right here, as a matter of fact, on this podium. I don't care.
Well, I would disagree with that. And Iceman, ooh, what a chop. That Sting's up here.
What a drop kick.
Standing drop kick. Jack Victory right on the jaw. Eddie Gilbert's ecstatic. It's nice to have someone up here that's in a good mood every now and then.
This is great. Look at him down. Iceman Link doesn't even have to get in the ring. Iceman's got them both down.
Iceman did a little style in there, strolling. I think he walks like that down Main Street in St. Louis.
Yeah, he has all the people boogalooing behind him.
KDNL, the folks watching us this Saturday morning in St. Louis. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday in Oklahoma City at the beautiful Myriad Center. Also, the national television taping this Sunday night in Tulsa at the Convention Center. Big events coming to Lake Charles, Louisiana. Biloxi, Mississippi's big, beautiful Gulf Coast Coliseum. The Sam Houston Coliseum, Houston, Texas. What an event there Friday night. Also, Saturday night, Jackson, Mississippi. And the big one at the Cowtown Coliseum in Fort Worth next to the legendary Billy Bob's, Texas. Sunday night, October 19th. And we're back to the match at hand. Well, I'll say this. Maybe you psyched them out, Eddie, being on the podium, because nothing has worked for Tatum and Victory thus far. I don't think Missy's really ecstatic about what she is seeing. And the old southpaw.
Look at that. What I left. Jim, the people couldn't see Tatum and Victory's faces when they walked out there by us, but they got scared to death when they saw my face.
Ooh, the missing link with that headbutt. The Iceman put the southpaw, put that left hand on him. The left ham connected, and then the headbutt of the missing link. And I don't really think you can categorize his head as a headbutt other than maybe a battering ram.
You throw anything into it, it'll bounce off.
Missy Hyatt, very stoic at ringside, very cautious with Dark Journey there. Dark Journey moving around very freely, and Hollywood John may wish his back on Hollywood and Vine right now.
Cannot compare with Hot Stuff.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been notified that we must take a television timeout. We'll be back with more exciting UWF action after this very brief timeout.
Come back. I'll do the Howard.
We're at the fair now.
Okay.
A lot of cows and horses out there, partner.
Well, Pilgrim,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
I'm going to get Missy. We're going to go home, raise little Johns and little Eddies, and circle the wagons. Oh, no? Maybe not. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Universal Wrestling Federation. Jim Ross, along with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and Hollywood John Tatum buried the knee into the kidney area of Iceman King Parsons.
Very dirty move on the part of John Tatum, I think, Jim.
Well, you would never do anything like that, Ed, right?
Well, the only thing I know, Jim, if that had been John Wayne, he'd have never stooped that low. Do you think, Pilgrim?
Well, I don't know about that. Oh, Lord.
Jim, do you think maybe if I do my John Wayne for Missy, that'll win her over?
I don't know, Eddie. I have no idea what Missy likes.
What do you
doesn't like.
think if I do my Howard Cosell for her?
I don't think that's going to get it either, and this might not get it for John Tatum as Iceman King Parsons kicks out. I think it's going to take more than that, Ed, just to be honest with you, my friend.
Well, Jim, I've got many, many more of those, and before the show's over, I promise I'm going to get some more in, too.
All right.
I just tell you, I cannot wait till Iceman King Parsons gets to the corner and tags the missing link, because I hope John Tatum's in the ring when he comes in.
Well, right now, Iceman definitely needs to make a tag. You know, ladies and gentlemen, next week here on the program, the Fantastics will be back with us, along with Ted DiBiase, the new UWF television champion, Freebird Buddy Jack Roberts.
Isn't that something? Buddy Roberts is the new television champion.
Yeah, the way he won. I'm not taking anything away from Buddy's ability, but the way he won it was a blatant cheat. That's all there is. Plus, we'll be talking about the first UWF Pro Wrestling Illustrated tournament right here next week. That's going to be a big thing, and we'll be talking about that big news in pro wrestling. We'll have that next week here as well. Back to the match.
Tatum can't hold him, Jim.
Iceman King Parsons and Hollywood John Tatum. Tatum with that snap suplex on Iceman King Parsons.
Better be more than that to hold him down.
The Iceman kicks out. Iceman, one of the tough competitors here in the UWF, as Tatum tags in his high school buddy, Jack Victory.
You know, Jim, John and Jack kind of remind me, they ought to be presidents of my fan club or something. If you ever notice, they always do stuff imitating myself.
I haven't noticed.
They're always strutting around. They're always wearing jackets and robes like myself, trying to wear sunglasses or getting down. They're trying to look like Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. There's only one Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. They can't even come close.
Iceman King Parsons fighting back. Iceman King Parsons fighting back. This is our first standby match, everybody, and this was, they're really competing here, and Iceman going for the coup de grace, Jack Victory.
It was
a smart move, exactly right.
I just hope Missy stays out of the way of the action. That's the only thing I hope.
Well, I tell you, the way she's dressed, so do I.
Jim.
I'll tell you. Well, seriously.
There's
a tag.
What I told you, right here.
Ooh!
It's the head.
The missing link with a battering ram. That head.
Look at him. Go, Lane, go. Get him.
Eddie Gilbert.
This is one time, Jim. I'm for him.
Look at Missy.
Look at Missy. She can pull my leg anytime.
Yeah, she's pulling a lot of legs.
Oh, look at Journey now. She's running after her. Oh, look at them. Oh.
We're just about out of time, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Missy, get out of there. Missy.
Where?
She's going to hurt Missy. She's going to hurt Missy. Somebody help Missy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tatum at?
we're out of time.
Where's Tatum?
We'll see you next week right here on the UWF.
Oh.
We'll see you next week, everybody.
Somebody help her. Somebody.